Hey guys, it's Sami and this is Wrestling Unlimited. Excuse me, sounding weird. I'm all stuffed up right now. Just kind of like, not sick, but just not feeling great all day today. So if I sound weird here on the podcast, that's why I'm all stuffed up and whatnot. But with that, thank you for joining us here on a Monday. We got a Monday Night Raw to talk about, the final Monday Night Raw before, two main roster shows. Because I was going to say 3 WWE shows this weekend. But one of them's NXT, which is Great American Bash. But we've got, we've got Saturday night's main event on Saturday, and then we have Evolution on Sunday, which is both a live main. I'm all kind of turned around. A main roster show and an NXT show. But as you see, we also got Luke over here with us. Luke, what's going on?
Not much. I mean, I'm back home for the week because I don't got to work till Friday, so I get a little bit of a break. But basically, to talk about Raw, I thought Raw was a good show. I mean, it flew by well. I mean, they did a good job of wrapping everything up for Saturday night's main event and Evolution. So good on them for that. And I mean, as far as the matches, I thought the matches were okay. Nothing great.
Oh, I'll tell you right now, Roxanne and Kyrie, they were sloppy as hell, and they were off time. Like, they were not working good together. There was one spot where Kyrie went for Hurricane Rana, and she did the whole her part, landed, she took the bump, and then Roxanne just did a front flip bump. I'm like, what?
I also want to ask your opinion on this because I saw someone, I think, said this in a video or they complained about it on Twitter. They said that they don't like Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman being together because they think that Seth and Paul aren't a good fit together, and they don't like that Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker are basically booked as like two guys with Seth.
Oh no, I love it. I think it's great. Because it is now putting Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed in a better spot. It is now, with them being a three-man unit, it is now putting three baby faces in a top spot as well. Think about it. If this group
are they really baby faces though? I don't think they are.
No. Let me finish my thought. I'm talking about Penta, Jey, and Sami. Because if this group wasn't together, then there wouldn't be three guys that need to feud with Seth and his group. It would just be one person feuding with Seth. But now there's three people, and you can even say LA Knight. But there's, for the Raw brand, three people that get to be in the top, feud, essentially. So that's what I meant by baby faces.
Oh yeah, and they also said that they don't like how they're using LA Knight because they think that LA Knight they've really kind of wasted his popularity and didn't put the world title on them.
No, he's not a world title guy. I never thought they were going to put the world title on him from the start, but they're going to push him as a top guy. Like, I don't see the world title on him. I don't see it.
I mean, probably not now. I mean, would he have been great as world champ? I thought so. Absolutely. I thought he would have been a great world champ.
Who?
LA Knight.
As world champion, though? I don't know.
I could see it. I could potentially see it.
I'm kind of on the fence, to be honest. I don't know. I don't really see it. U.S. title, IC title, oh yeah, for sure. But WWE Championship, World Heavyweight Championship,
I can see him as world champion.
I don't know. Like maybe world.
I mean, probably not the undisputed champion, but maybe world champion, absolutely.
So yeah, I don't know. Like world title, sure, but I don't see it. I don't see it. He's one of those guys. To me, he's one of those guys that he'll be fine regardless if he has the big belt or not.
And they also said that like they don't like that Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed are being put as like lackeys to Seth.
See,
I feel like they should be in a better spot.
I don't see him as lackeys. And if they were in a different spot, how can they be in a better spot than the top storyline on Raw? You know what I mean?
Top story. It's not the top storyline in wrestling. The top storyline in wrestling right now is probably Cena's thing.
Yeah, it's whatever Cena's doing is number one. But yeah. But with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat, just like Esports Gaming Rules did. Also, remember, you can subscribe to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember to help us out over on YouTube. Help us out by hitting that subscribe button. That way you know when we go live, when we post new videos, and when we post to the community tab. Also, remember to hit the join button to become a channel member. As a channel member, you get a badge next to your name, emotes, and emojis that you can use in the live chat and in the comment section. And you also get access to our graphics tutorials and our graphics packages. You can also get all of those at patreon.com/PW Unlimited. And finally, remember on YouTube to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air. You can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Right now, for the rest of this week, all super chats that we get, we will be donating that money to the Mystic Girls Camp and the relief to help with that. We know a lot of people have been helping out with that. Bailey's going to auction off some gear for that. And yeah, I want to help out with that as well. So if anybody does donate a super chat on YouTube, we will be donating that money. Also, remember to head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Whether you're trying to get the Battle Pass for Fortnite because Superman comes out on Friday, hey, use this code, PWU NLIMITED. With all of that,
Actually, before
what's up?
Before we get into Raw, we do have a super chat actually from Jack Dawson.
All right, how about this?
$5.
You take care of the super chat. I have to run to the bathroom really fast. All of a sudden, it just hit me.
Actually, it was okay. All right, go for it.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you, Jack Dawson, for the $5 super chat. We really do appreciate that. They say, keep up the good work, Tim. And two questions. First, is it possible we get Team Rollins versus Team Cody at Survivor Series and Roman SummerSlam return? That's a great question. I think for SummerSlam, there is that possibility that Roman returns, or heck, maybe he returns even before SummerSlam. I don't know. I honestly don't know when Roman's going to return. I really don't know. But it may be SummerSlam. Very good chance, actually. That'd probably be a good moment for him to return to SummerSlam. But I just don't probably return to do something with Seth and Paul. Very good chance for that. As far as Survivor Series does go, for Team Rollins versus Team Cody, honestly, Survivor Series, so Seth's group is going to be involved with War Games. Very good chance that happens. I do think that'll happen. As far as who Team Rollins will face, I've said this to Tim a few times. I kind of want it to be Seth, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Cena, and Logan Paul against Cody, Punk, Roman, Jey Uso, and God, who's the other one? Randy Orton. That would be a great War Games lineup. Heck, that would be an all-star lineup actually, but I don't know if Cena's actually going to be involved with War Games now that after what happened at Night of Champions. I actually don't think it. Maybe, I don't know, but I do really want Cena involved with War Games because at least it'll add on to his legacy that he worked War Games. Excuse me, but yeah, as far as who does team with Seth at Survivor Series, I don't know. So
What are we talking
Want me to
about?
read the super chat? So the super chat does say, "Keep up the good work, Tim." And 2 questions. The first is it possible we get Team Rollins versus Team Cody at Survivor Series and a Roman return at SummerSlam?
Roman is expected back soon, per reports recently. So I think Roman. So here's the issue with SummerSlam. Not long after SummerSlam, we could be losing 2 superstars. Like Roman's going to come back and have to leave right away. Cody might have to leave right away after SummerSlam as well, because they're both in Street Fighter, and Street Fighter starts filming in Australia in August, like not long after Survivor Series. So, or SummerSlam, I mean. So with that, I do see Roman working a match at SummerSlam and then take time off again. Then Cody might be taking time off as well. So Cody is rumored to be playing Guile. They said he was in talks, and then Deadline put out a list of names as far as these are the guys playing these roles, and they did list Cody, but we haven't got any like report that says Cody Rhodes is officially signed on for the movie. So we'll see. But my question with that, and I'll get to the Survivor Series one in a second. If Cody is going to do this movie and have to leave in August, does that mean he loses to Cena?
Oh yeah, I think he will.
Because I've seen people go, "Oh, well, they've had the champ not be on TV before. It's fine." Yes, they have with Brock and Roman. But the story they're telling right now is that John Cena is the champion and that he's going to leave with the belt. They're not going to do a story where Cody wins the title and then is off TV with the belt. Like, I don't think they do that story. So I think Cody being in this movie may spoil the SummerSlam main event. As far as the other one goes, Team Cody versus Team Rollins. Why not Team Cody versus Team Cena? What if Cena beats Cody? That's SummerSlam. And then we're building up, and I get it, it'll be the third one, but we're building up to Cena's last match being with the title on the line to Cody, saying, "I'll give Cody one more shot at this belt, see if he can really save wrestling." And so it's Team Cena versus Team Cody at Survivor Series. Not Team Rollins, but Rollins is still on the team.
So one thing I did say while you were in the bathroom was something that I suggested for War Games for a while now was Cena teaming with Rollins and his group and Logan Paul against Cody, Roman, Punk, Randy, and Jey Uso. Or Sami. No, actually, instead of Randy, it's Sami and Jey.
That would make sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But I don't know. After Night of Champions, I don't even know if Cena wants to team with Seth and his group after they tried to cash in on Cena.
I mean, true, but Survivor Series is July, August, September, October. 5 months later. I think he'll get over it by then.
Unless they...
Especially if Seth cashes in on the world title and Seth's world champion. You know? So...
Yeah. Because he's probably going to cash in at SummerSlam,
I guess. I can see that being a possibility. But we also have some... Go for it.
And maybe they just be like, hey, like I never took your world title. I took the Raw world title.
Right. We also
never took your undisputed belt, but yeah, go for it.
We also got some bit donations from Esports Gaming Rules. First one says, Kabuki Warriors are back together, and that makes the WWE Universe very happy. So do you think they go to win the 4-way if the original plan is the Bellas in the tag match win the titles? So, excuse me. I wouldn't say the original plan was the Bellas challenging for the tag titles. It was a plan because as we've seen so far, looks like Brie's not coming back. And so, yes, maybe Brie would have only come back for the tag title match. I don't know. Nikki's in the Battle Royal. And so we don't even know if the Bellas were going to win the titles anyways. Like, just because it was going to be Liv and Raquel versus the Bellas with the titles on the line doesn't mean automatically that the Bellas were going to win. So Liv and Roxanne, or Raquel and Roxanne as the champions defending against the 3 teams, I can see them retaining. I can see them retaining the titles, especially because they're a new team together. They're really going hard on, every member of Judgment Day's got gold. So I think they keep the belts.
I think they should as well, because at least like if they retain Roxanne, like is the one that like pins somebody.
Exactly.
And they can really like build a Raquel slowly trusting Roxanne.
Yep. He also says, speaking of Nikki Bella's in the Battle Royal, seems to be plan B because of Liv's injury. and to jump ticket sales because WWE Evolution is going to get destroyed by the Cowboy Carter tour in Atlanta. So I don't even think it has to do with the Beyonce show. I think it has to do with there's already 2 WWE shows the day before in Atlanta. And so it's like, oh, people aren't going to go to all 3. People's going to pick 1, maybe 2, and then go to those shows. They're not going to pay to go to all 3. So I don't think it has anything to do. Now, maybe the Beyonce show hurts it a little bit. But I think for the most part, it's running 3 shows in Atlanta in one weekend is what's hurting ticket sales for Evolution. Because right now, they're less than 5,000 tickets out.
I'm really curious to see how this setup for Evolution is going to look.
But assume it looks the same as Saturday night's main event. Because I doubt that they set it up, because it's the same building. So I doubt they set it up on Saturday night or Saturday for the Saturday night show and change it all for Sunday. I think it's going to be the same setup and stage. I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be the same setup and stage on both Friday and Saturday, or Saturday and Sunday.
Remember last time they had Evolution and some of the women at the time said they wanted to do it again, but management was like, no, because this hurt us like really bad financially.
So the first Evolution show was a financial failure, like failure. And Vince was like, oh, yeah, this didn't work. I'm never doing it again. Which I get why people are mad that they never did it again, but I also understand why they didn't do it. It literally didn't make money. It didn't draw. So a couple of others here. He says, WWE gave a shout out to the Prince of Darkness, WWE Hall of Famer Ozzy Osbourne, for his farewell performance in his hometown in the UK. I saw some of that, clips online and so forth. Seemed really, really cool. Did you see any of that with Ozzy's final performance on stage?
I haven't, no.
Yeah, so they did a big Black Sabbath Ozzy Osbourne final show, and they had a bunch of other bands perform and artists and whatnot. Really cool stuff. It was like an all-day music festival, and they streamed it for $30. And then another one says, you see the FIFO report on Monet and Creative Control heading into AEW All In Texas. So they didn't have a report about Monet having Creative Control. Sean did a video explaining what Creative Control is. And it's not that Mercedes, how do I explain this? Because I don't want to call esports gaming real stupid, but I've seen a lot of people comment the same thing that are uneducated comments. She doesn't have creative control. There's nothing in her contract that says she has creative control, like Hogan did back in the day, where if they told Hulk Hogan in WCW, you're going to do this and this, he can just say, no, I ain't doing it. That's creative control. Mercedes can't just say no, but she's got an open line to Tony to suggest and tell Tony what she wants to do, and apparently Tony never tells her no. That's the difference. It's not that she has creative control. It's that more than almost anybody, she can pitch her own stuff and know that it's more than likely going to get what she wants. That's not creative control. So to say that Five will put out a report about her creative control, not technically true. What's up?
To be fair, does Tony really tell anybody no?
Yes and no. I think he has.
Not very often. Because I feel like a lot of times when a wrestler tells a no, it's like, oh, you don't want to do it? Okay, we'll find something else. Because he's too wrestler friendly, if that makes sense.
That's different. The if you don't want to do it thing. That's different of going to Rusev and saying, here's what I have for you. Does that work for you? This is, she goes to Tony and says, this is what I want to do. She's booking her own stuff. Not per se, but it's she's pitching what she's doing. She's got her own personal writer. And yeah. So it's not creative control. And to say that she has creative control is incorrect. It's and I'll just say it one more time. It's that she pitches things for herself to Tony and Tony never tells her no. That's what it is. As far as Raw does go, the show opened up with, Seth Rollins and his group yet again kicking off the show. They go into the arena, they do the fly-in with the drone, they say, welcome to Raw. Hey, we got this guy here and this guy there. And I just sit in here and I go, I'm going to burn it down here in a second. And boom, out comes Seth. I'm it's getting a little too predictable, Seth opening the show every week. But Seth and his crew come down. And they stand in the ring. Braun Breaker takes the microphone, basically runs down how he's better than everybody. He's better than Sami Zayn, and he's going to kill Sami Zayn. He's going to maul Sami Zayn. He basically says he's going to maul his head off of him. Like he's going to take his head off his body. And he starts like going crazy in this promo, and eventually Heyman has to calm him down and takes the microphone from him. And then give it to Bronson Reed, where he just says that he is going to take out Jey Uso. He said that I gained Seth's respect when I beat his ass with 6 tsunamis, and I'm going to do the same thing to Jey. Well, he only gave him 2. But then they handed the mic to Seth, who just gave it to Paul. Paul did his little spiel, gave it back to Seth, and Seth goes, well, there's not much more that they haven't said, or that they said that I have to say. So welcome to Monday Night Rollins. That was about it. Crowd was chanting for CM Punk. And crazy. When Paul did his thing where he goes, my name is Paul. When he said Heyman, the crowd was so loud with him saying Heyman, you couldn't even hear Heyman say it over the mic. Like, holy crap. But that was basically the whole opening segment. They were out there for like 15 minutes, and then they really only said about 5 minutes worth of stuff. You got a takeaway from all this? Kind of standard by the book.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty standard. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I feel like Braun Breaker's thing was just a little. I don't know. I feel like Braun Breaker's thing where he's saying like, oh wait, hold on. What was he saying again?
He's basically saying he's gonna maul Sami Zayn and take his head off of him.
It kind of reminded me of like Brian Keith like telling people like respect Chris Jericho, and I'm gonna maul anyone who tries to disrespect him.
Right.
That's what kind of reminded me of.
I can see that. Let me go to the Judgment Day. They're in their locker room, clubhouse, they're going to call it. They all got golds, finished polishing the gold. And then Raquel walks in and goes, what is that? We look over, and it's like a shrine to Liv Morgan. Got flowers and candles around a picture of Liv. She's like, I talk to Liv almost every day. Liv's going to be fine. She's going to come back. She's not dead. And Roxanne's like, oh, well, I just wanted to show my appreciation for Liv Morgan and everything she's done for the Judgment Day. And then she says she's got a match next. So everybody leaves except for Dom. And Dom goes, hey, who put this cake here? And Finn's like, not me. JD's like, not me. And they leave. So Dom reads it and says, get well soon from AJ. He goes, from AJ? What? And he turns around. AJ Styles is in the clubhouse kind of laughing at him. He's like, hey. And then he disappears. And Dom does this. I got a note. You can't touch me. I got a doctor's note. So just keeping the AJ Dom stuff alive, even though they can't have a match yet.
When are they supposed to do this match? Just on an episode of Raw?
We don't know because Dom is legitimately dealing with a rib issue. So whenever Dom gets cleared, like it's not a storyline that they're pushing it off. Dom's legit has a rib injury. So then speaking of, go for it.
Never mind. Oh, yeah, never mind.
So then speaking of Roxanne. This match with Kairi Sane that's not good. Not good at all. It's sloppy. They are not in sync. The timing is off. So it starts during a break. So they're throwing shots at each other and whatnot. Perez threw Sane in the corner and tried to maintain momentum, but applied a headlock. There's an attempted spear by Perez that kind of got into a weird looking pin, but it wasn't a pin. I don't know what really happened here. And there was a series of moves. Sane at one point battled back with the back fist to the face of Perez, followed by a flying forearm and a dive to the outside. During a break, Sane got momentum. Sane got some momentum. When we returned, Sane continued the attack. At one point, Perez did avoid an insane elbow and kicked Sane right in the face. Perez headed to the top with a springboard and moonsault. He only got a near fall off of it. At one point, there was an attempted Alabama slam by Sane. Sane then didn't really get it. Headed to the top to look for her finisher, the insane elbow, but Raquel kind of got an interception in here. She pulled Perez out of the ring. Referee starts yelling at her, and Kairi hit her with a big crossbody to the floor. Back in the ring, Raquel tried to go for the pop rocks, Pop Rocks was countering into a pin. 1, 2, 3. Kyrie pins her. Any thoughts before we get to the post match?
It was sloppy.
Very.
I know going into the match, I was a little worried what they were going to do with Kyrie, like down the line. I was a little worried.
So yeah, basically Kyrie pin. Go for it.
But now we know, like post match, now what they're going to do with her.
Yeah. So post match, they beat up Kyrie, Raquel, and Roxanne. Asuka comes out to make the save, but then the champs stand tall. So basically, what it is Kyrie beat one half of the tag champs. Her and Asuka are now in the women's 4-way for the tag titles at Evolution.
I thought they were going to use Asuka as a heel going down the line.
Oh no. Asuka's been a babyface since she returned. Jackie Redmond interviews Sami Zayn. Sami's like looking around because he thinks Karrion Kross is going to come out of the shadows. He's like, hey, I know I got to worry about Karrion, but right now I've got Braun Breaker to worry about, so I'm going to focus on him. I'm not worried about my ribs or anything, and we'll see what happens tonight. Scarlett then comes into frame and kind of just like laughs at Sami after Sami already walked off. Not much to it. So then,
yeah, there wasn't.
Go for it.
Oh yeah. Also for Night of Champions, when I was watching that, all I saw was a lot of tweets. I think I said a tweet about it. I can't remember what I tweeted about that match.
Which one?
Hang on. About the Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn match, because I know I tweeted something about it.
So the Karrion Kross actually was taking back bumps. Everyone says he won't take a back bump.
No, I said a lot of people really wanted Kross to win, but we'll see what happens for Kross after Night of Champions. Because
no, Sami winning was the right call. Kross is going to be fine because they did during the commercial break interview with Kross later that you saw if you had an international Netflix, and this guy is over. The whole crowd was chanting, "We want Kross, we want Kross, we want Kross."
I'm really curious to see if this guy will actually re-sign with WWE.
I think the fact that they released new merch is that they are under the belief he's staying. And I think,
or they're trying to.
The word is he wants to stay. Like him and Scarlett want to stay, and so we'll see how it all plays out. It's supposed their contracts are supposed to be up like this month,
like in the end of this month, so it's getting pretty close.
Right. Adam Pearce talked to American Made. He said El Grande Americano is going to compete tonight. Julius Creed said that was impossible because Chad Gable's out. And Pierce goes, what does that mean? Why can't he compete if Gable's out? What? And Brutus was like, oh, no, it's all good. And he's like being a Scooby-Doo character, kind of. It was weird. Ivy then asked if she can be in the Battle Royal at Evolution. And he said, sure. And then barges in Asuka and Kyrie. They said they want the tag champs. And he said, you know what, do even better. Reform the Kabuki Warriors and you'll be on the 4-way. So the 4-way is now Roxanne and Raquel defending against the Kabuki Warriors, Alexa and Charlotte, and then Sol Ruka and Zarya. Alexa, stop. We then got a video package from Nikki Bella. Basically just said, she kept saying, I want one more time to shine. One more time to shine. So I'm like, oh, you're getting one last match? No. She's going to be in the Battle Royal. She wants to win it and challenge for the title at Clash in Paris. Sami Zayn comes out for his match with Braun Breaker and gets attacked in the aisleway by Karrion Kross. Kross attacks him with the pipe, goes to hit him again, but a bunch of people come down, including Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce literally takes the pipe from Kross and just throws it. He goes, no, we're not doing this. So they check on Sami, and all through the break, they're trying to tell Sami, don't do the match. Don't do the match. We'll call it off. We're fine. It's okay. And so Sami starts to walk to the back, and he goes, no. And he goes towards the ring, and they stop him again. He goes to walk to the back, and he goes, no. And he finally gets in the ring and says, I'm fine. I'm doing the match. You can't stop me. So that's Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. So basically, they're doing the whole thing of Sami's in no condition to compete. Braun Breaker backed Sami into the corner at one point and targeted his injured ribs. He crumbled to the mat at one point. He ripped off the tape and targeted the ribs again. He did picked him up in a gorilla position, then dropped him gut first on his knees. Breaker then lifted Zayn up and threw him across the ring, hit him with a suplex. He went for his spear and hit it. Zayn then intercepted Breaker's attempt. Well, he went to hit it, almost hit it, kind of hit it, and Sami kind of reversed into a clothesline. Zayn then had a little bit of momentum here, but not a lot. Eventually, Breaker did hit him with a spear, and Sami rolled to the floor. Then he did his run around the ring spear, and it didn't look good. So Braun Breaker's been doing this thing where he's trying to fly with the running spear on the outside, and he's trying to get as much air time as possible to where he wants it to look like he's flying through the air. And this one tonight did not look good. And so that's why they didn't show a replay of it. Like, he flew through the air, but barely even contacted Sami, like connected, because he jumped a little too soon. He threw Sami back in the ring, did his little rope spear, pinned him 1, 2, 3. There we go. Not much to it. Just Sami got a slight bit of offense and then got dominated. Any thoughts?
Yeah, it was mainly just Sami getting dominated. That's what it was really all about.
Esports Gaming Rules, the bit donation, says, do you see Cross 7? Maybe Shins. I don't know what he's saying. Cross 7?
Maybe a versus.
Basically, I don't know what he's asking about Cross, but he says Shinsuke Nakamura. Trying to burp right into the microphone. Basically, they're saying, do you see WWE letting Nakamura go have one last match with Tanahashi? No, not if they're working with AEW. I don't see them letting. Now, if it's like I'm torn on this one. No, I'm going to say no. They would say maybe at the Tokyo Dome or something. No.
Yeah, if they're working with AEW, probably not.
I think there's a chance that Tanahashi wins the G1 so he can main event the Tokyo Dome for the title, but loses.
It's like his final match?
Yep. Tokyo Dome main event for his final match for the championship, but he doesn't win.
Maybe he wins it, but then just retires as champ.
I wouldn't like that. That's the Sting thing. That's what Cena's teasing. That's what Goldberg's teasing. There's too much of that right now. So in the back, Adam Pearce is talking with the War Raiders. When the New Day come up, they're wearing ridiculous outfits. They're like ladies at a funeral. And
this was stupid.
Yeah.
It was funny. It was funny, but stupid.
Right. So earlier in the night during one of the commercials, they came out wearing that, and they were like all sad and stuff as well. But they basically said that Adam Pearce killed the tag division by allowing the Judgment Day to get a title shot last week. And then Becky walked up and was like, hey, sorry for your loss. Also, best thing you guys ever did was get rid of Big E. Great idea. And then she walks off. Becky comes down to the ring. And she's talking about the triple threat. And she's like, I don't know why I'm doing this match, why I have to do it. Adam Pearce is a dummy. She said, I'm facing two losers. They both lost last week. No one technically won. I've beaten both of them. And then out comes Bayley. Before Bayley can speak, out came Lyra. Lyra comes down to the ring and basically just says that Becky's full of excuses, that they both earned this shot, this, that, and so forth, and what have you. Bayley then finally gets in the ring and is like, no, you know, I should be the one challenging for the title, but because it's going to be both of us, let's just do it. And they start talking about WrestleMania and all that stuff. And then Lyra's like, hey, Becky took you out, but I didn't call Becky for help. Becky called me and asked if I needed her help. And Becky goes, well, Lyra didn't hesitate. Lyra said yes. And it was all weird. And then eventually they all start brawling. Any thoughts?
It was mainly just a brawl and then building up to the match.
Yeah, nothing really that special.
I don't know, like, this is what I kind of mean. Like, Raw, I mean, it flew by well, but like it just didn't really like bring anything special tonight,
right.
If that makes sense.
Right.
Which, I mean, you're not going to get that every night, but which, I mean, I kind of expected tonight anyway, so.
So backstage, we go in the locker room. Seth Rollins is there strategizing. Bron Breakker walks in and says, you know, hey, I beat Sami, but people are going to say that I couldn't beat him by myself. Cross had to help, so how are we going to take care of Cross? And Seth's like, don't worry about Cross. Cross isn't our problem. he's like, yeah, but people are saying that I can't beat Sami by myself. Sami was already hurt going into it. And they calmed down Bron again, basically. Then Rollins, that is, told Bronson Reed, hey, he took care of Sami. You go take care of Jey. And that match was next. Bronson Reed versus Jey Uso. Uso was on the offense early. Rocked Reed with some shots in the corner. There's attempted Irish whip, but was countered as Reed crushed Uso with a thump. At one point, there was a yeet, and Uso hit a suicide dive that sent Reed over the announce table. Uso cleared the commentary table and met by a recovering Reed with a super kick. He super kicked Reed right into a desk chair. He super kicked him again, and Reed flipped over the chair. Jey then jumped up on the apron. Well, he jumped in the ring, and then he went to get out of the ring, but had a desk chair thrown in his face, and the ref called for the DQ. Bronson then beat his ass, gave him 2 tsunamis, and then everybody came down to stop it. So, cool. It was effective. Made Bronson Reed look like a big-time villain. What'd you think?
Bronson Reed looked like a monster.
Right? Is it just
All
me?
he wanted-
Is it just me, or does Reed look like he's lost a little weight? He looks a little smaller than before he was out with his injury.
I'm sure he probably had to lose a little bit of weight.
They said he's 330 now, and he looks right about 320, 330. I just feel like
I'm sure he probably,
I feel like he's dropped like 40 pounds.
I don't know about 40, but
I mean, to me, he looks slimmer.
a little bit. I mean, I can tell, but maybe, I'm sure it probably happens when you get injured like that. You
Right.
lose a little bit of weight.
Where were we? LA Knight spoke about his upcoming match with Seth Rollins this week on Saturday Night's Main Event and said there's 5 more days. Michael Cole and Corey Graves then tossed it over to a video package for the Women's World Championship match at Evolution. Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. And they basically talked about Rhea's inability to defeat Io. Excuse me. Then we had El Grande Americano versus Dragon Lee. This was fine. It was a fine little match.
It was a mess, honestly.
Hey. Yeah, you're probably not wrong.
I mean, I knew this was going to be a mess when El Grande came out. People already know this is not Chad Gable. This is basically just Ludwig Kaiser pretending to be the real El Grande Americano.
El Grande Frenchie.
El Grande Amerikaiser.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. El Grande Amerikaiser. Put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, that's new PW Unlimited T-shirt design. El
Right.
Grande Americano.
Oh, speaking of T-shirt designs, hold on. I'm gonna pull this up on the screen. During Seth's entrance, I caught this guy in the crowd. We don't sell this shirt anymore because WWE had it taken down, but I'm a mommy's boy. That's my shirt. Guy was wearing it at Raw, and they showed him on screen. Fortunately, WWE said it was copyright or whatever. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a parody shirt. Sold quite a bit of those shirts.
Grande Amerikaiser would be a new T-shirt design.
You know, the crazy thing is sold more of those shirts to kids than adults, to non-wrestling fans.
Really?
Yeah, I sold more of those in kid sizes to non-wrestling fans. Because think about it, it's universal. I'm a mommy's boy.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's not just a wrestling thing. That's why I was like, this is such a good idea. Sold I don't know how many, and then WWE reached out to TeePublic and said, this infringes copyright. You have to take it down. So we can't sell it on TeePublic anymore. Very unfortunate.
I mean, yeah. But I don't.
I had someone buy the I Love You Solo shirt last week. I'm like, what? People still buying that shirt? I Love You Solo? Okay.
Didn't you make a I hate you solo shirt?
Yeah, I sold a couple of those.
I know WWE Shop just came out with a Naomi briefcase.
And the Seth briefcase too last week, yeah.
Naomi one looks a lot better than the Seth one. I feel like the Seth one just looks a lot.
It's kind of plain.
Looks pretty generic to me. Yeah, it's pretty plain. I mean, smart on them for bringing back the custom briefcases
Right.
now.
Well, they had the Tiffany one
Smart.
last year.
They had the Tiffany one last year. I'm sure that sold a lot. They had the Damian Priest Senior Money in the Bank one.
That one was that was more generic than Seth's, to be honest. It was just a purple Money in the Bank briefcase, and then they spray painted the Senior thing on there, which is weird.
They could have just made like a Judgment Day briefcase.
I think I don't know. Yeah.
But I do like that they're doing that because they're making a lot more money selling those briefcases.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like it, but the Seth one just looks a little plain to me. But the Naomi one looks cool because they also got some duct tape around the handle.
Oh, I didn't even notice that part. I just noticed all the caution tape on it.
Like the caution tape. They have caution tape around the handle.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought you meant like extra tape. And I like how it says, not like caution, don't cross. It says don't cross Naomi. Or do not cross Naomi. Caution, do not cross Naomi.
Yeah,
I like
that.
I like that little touch there as well. $200 though. Jesus Christ.
I'm not paying that.
Nope, I got the old gold one with the lunchbox. We used to have the green one too, the Bailey one. I don't know what happened to it. There was the Bailey. Well, it wasn't Money in the Bank. It was just a Bailey lunchbox my daughter had. I don't know what happened to it. I think we lost it when we moved. But then I have the Money in the Bank lunchbox as well, the gold one.
Speaking of moving, I got to move out of my apartment here pretty soon.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, my lease is up and I'm just getting into a new room. Same building, but just different room.
So moving forward, this El Grande Americano Dragon Lee match. Match started. Cole pointed out how El Grande Americano was a foot taller than, quote, the other one. We got some back and forth lucha libre between both men. El Grande got Lee with a nice arm drag and showed off a little bit after landing on his feet with a monkey flip. This opened up for Lee to hit a kick. He attempted to take control here. El Grande intercepted the kick to the face, and he continued on the attack with the action. Excuse me. The action resumed after a break, with El Grande and Lee fighting on the top rope. Lee caught El Grande with a sit-out power bomb and a near fall. El Grande was down and out at this point. Lee tried to rip at the mask. Couldn't get it. Excuse me, I don't know why I got the burp so bad. Lee took advantage with a vaulting kick over the top rope, which rocked El Grande Americano. He tried to go for the win, but couldn't quite get it. El Grande then chopped Lee and connected with a springboard blockbuster. Got a near fall off of that. Lee fought out of the graps of El Grande and trapped him in a tree of woe. Tried to go for the double stomp. Lee then took the fight down with a dive to the outside and connected with it. El Grande then got back into the ring and appeared to slip something into the mask. You know, the assisted headbutt deal. He did the headbutt with the piece of metal in there. 1, 2, 3, got the victory. So El Grande Americano, or as you said, El Grande Amerikaiser picks up the victory. Any thoughts?
It was a good match, but just a disaster. I didn't even have El Grande Americano go, gracias.
Oh, you're not wrong. I didn't even think about that.
They didn't even have him speak. They just had him do this and not even talk.
Yeah. Well, because they don't want him to talk and then everyone go, it's a different voice. Even though it's a different body.
Yeah, we all know it's different body. We all know it's Ludwig.
Yeah.
They're just trying to keep this up. They're just trying to keep this up to make it seem like it's not Chad Gable.
Yeah, I don't know how long Gable's going to be out because we don't know the severity of the injury. We know he needed shoulder surgery, but we don't know if it was a dislocated shoulder, a torn shoulder muscle, or what. But we might know soon because Chad is actually working on a recovery documentary. He's doing it all himself, editing, filming, and everything. Esports Gaming Rules, the Bit Donation, says Chad Gable's group exposes him as his alter ego. That is crazy. Kinda. No, we had Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Crowd was going crazy for them. Chanting, we want Kross. Kross goes, well, you got me. I'm here. And every week I'm going to be here to take down Sami Zayn. He said, I'm only here to tell the truth. Then out comes Gunther, World Heavyweight Champion. Gunther comes out and starts talking about Bill Goldberg when all of a sudden we hear screeching tires and a burnout. See a vehicle in the back. It's Goldberg. Goldberg drives into the garage area, gets out, and goes straight to the ring. He goes face to face with Gunther, doesn't say really anything, knocks the microphone out of his hand. Goldberg had Gunther in position for a spear after taking him down with a punch, and Gunther rolled to the outside and got away. So Goldberg stood tall and started yelling, 5 days, only 5 more days. Any thoughts on this? It was fine.
It was fine. It wasn't really anything. It was just Goldberg saying 5 more days, and that was kind of it.
Yeah. With that,
I really don't like this for the title. I know you said it before. I don't like how it's for the title.
Me neither.
Why do they have to be fighting for something?
Because Triple H wanted it for the title. That was what I heard. So I don't know. But before we get into the main event, let's hear from our sponsor, Aewcooly. Does the summer heat got you sweating through your shirt before noon? Maybe it's time to chill with an Aewcooly handheld fan. This pocket-sized powerhouse is your secret weapon against scorching temps. Whether catching rays listening to music or just looking to get a great tan, it brings the breeze right when you need it. With 3 speed settings, a rechargeable battery that lasts up to 10 hours, and a whisper quiet motor, the Aewcooly fan delivers cool comfort without the buzz or bulk. Toss it in your bag, clip it to your desk, or have it right by your side at all times. It's compact, stylish, and oh so convenient. So why melt when you can breeze through summer? Use our link in the description below, scan the QR code on the screen, or head over to pwunlimited.co/Aewcooly. That's AECOOLY now for cooling in the palm of your hand. With that, we do have the poll now up on Twitch as well. Let us know what you thought of Raw. As far as the main event, I liked it. I thought it was a really fun, solid.
Camera guy messed up on Penta's entrance.
Oh, I was gonna get to that. I don't know what happened. Penta was in like the bottom corner and he was zoomed in, and then all of a sudden he realized he wasn't in frame and he tried to center it up, but he was still zoomed in too far or something. I don't know. You're a camera guy. Give me your analysis.
So, as someone who does camera work for live production for right now and trying to like make it as a full-time career, I've also had some errors as cameraman. So a lot of time when it's like on a tripod, whenever I'm just not doing a handheld, sometimes you can like release something unscrewed and all of a sudden tilts up by itself. That can happen sometimes, and not keep it like locked in. You're just and it's steady. Like that could happen sometimes. I think that happened to me once. Also, for handheld, maybe like if you're turning and I don't know what happened here actually. I'll have to watch it again.
The weird part was the weird part he was like zoomed in too much.
Maybe
because if you look at it when Penta was at the bottom corner, it was like very zoomed in, and then when he tried to center it, you only saw like from Penta's neck to his belly button kind of area or waist.
He probably was too. Maybe when he was backing up, he was still like zoomed in pretty like too much.
Maybe
he's supposed to like zoom in like back. Yeah, that's probably what happened. I mean, it does happen. The trick is when you're zooming out like that, you really gotta zoom out whenever you're live on the air. You really gotta zoom out like very slowly, not zoom out like super quick.
Yeah, and it's not like when you do a movie where you have somebody else in charge of the zoom and the focus, and then one person in charge of the camera. It's the one person doing it all.
Which I mean, it's not that hard to handle, but mistakes do happen.
Because I know, like when shooting a movie, and I've done this before, you have your camera guy, your DP or whatever, but then you have your puller who is in charge of pulling focus off the lens and stuff.
See, we do the focus, zoom, and the
for live production like that, yeah. But for like filming like a cinematic movie, they have a separate person that their job is just to make sure that the shot is in focus.
And like video, like Iris, I mean, that's a separate person doing all that.
Right.
I've done that before.
Nice.
One time I accidentally fell asleep.
Uh,
And my boss is like, look, Iris on 2.
That's funny.
Well, it also didn't help when they turned the lights off in the trailer and you're like sitting there trying so hard not to fall asleep and it looks like you're just watching a movie.
I can
with
see
the
that.
lights off.
Yep, I can see that.
That also doesn't help, but anyway.
As far as this matches go, Penta versus Rollins. Penta surprised Rollins with a super kick before the bell rang, or right as the bell rang, and they fell to the floor. They're fighting on the outside. Penta had the advantage until eventually he goes to chop Seth. Seth moves. Penta ends up chopping the turnbuckle post, the LED post, whatever you want to call it, ring post. And Penta then does hit Rollins with the Hurricane Rana on the floor, though. In the ring, Rollins did take the advantage with some stomps, but couldn't maintain a clear advantage as Penta eventually did fight back. Rollins attempted a pedigree, and Penta got out of it, tried to kick Rollins. Rollins blocked it. At one point, Rollins got... I don't know, I didn't see where this happened, but Rollins was bleeding a little from above his eye. Did you notice anything?
I'll have to watch it again.
It might have been during the break, because I know during this break I ran to the bathroom. So, like the last break they had. So it might have been during the break. I'm not sure. Probably. But where was I? Penta fought out of Rollins' grasp and hit a modified sling blade. This allowed him to hit a drop kick into the corner on Rollins. Penta then looked for a Penta driver, but Rollins countered and escaped. At one point, both men were down on the mat. They finally did recover, and Rollins showed some impressive strength and lifted Penta on his shoulders before he dropped him with a gutbuster. Rollins headed up top and mocked Penta's little gesture. Cierro Miedo. Paul Heyman made fun of this earlier. He's like, I don't get Penta and all this hand signals, but Seth's going to take care of him where he can't do hand signals anymore. Rollins then did a frog splash and only got a 2 off of it. Rollins had Penta in position for a stomp, but couldn't connect. Rollins was placed on the top rope by Penta, and the two began to duke it out. Penta landed on the apron and connected with the Hurricane Rana in the ring. Penta managed to hit the Penta driver, and Seth kicked out at like 2.999999, the closest kick out you can have. Penta then placed Rollins in position for the sacrifice, but Rollins escaped and hit a buckle bomb. Penta recovered right away and hit a Mexican Destroyer. He went for the cover, but Rollins grabbed the bottom rope. Penta then dragged Rollins' lifeless body into the middle of the ring, but Rollins recovered and hit him with a low blow. He went low with the headbutt, then gave Rollins the advantage to hit the stomp and pick up the victory. Before we get to the post-match, Seth wins. What'd you think?
Seth had to win. I didn't think Penta was going to beat Seth.
No.
Pretty obvious win here for Seth, but good match though. It was a good match. I enjoyed it, but I think these two should work with each other again down the line.
Oh, for sure.
But
so after the
match, I mean, pretty obvious Seth was going to win.
Yeah, after the match, Heyman comes out with Reed and Breaker. They look like they're ready to run down to attack Penta when LA Knight jumps in the ring, attacks Seth from behind, hits him with the BFT, and runs into the crowd as the show goes off the air. Well, that's it. Not a bad Monday Night Raw. That was a decent episode. Flowed well. Not bad. Any final thoughts?
I mean, it was a good episode. Nothing special, but it just flowed well.
As far as the polls do go, let's refresh all of those. Refresh. Looking at the Threads poll, 60% liked the show, 33% thought it was just all right, and 7% didn't like it. As far as the Twitter poll, 63% liked the show, 26% thought it was just all right, and 10% didn't like it. As far as the community poll, 76% liked the show, 16% thought it was just all right, and 8% didn't like it. Live poll, 79% liked the show, 19% thought it was just all right, and 2% didn't like it. And finally, everybody that voted on Twitch liked the show. So with that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. But Luke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at PetGamer_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you back here Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. Have a good one, guys.